on, everyone? This is Big Bob with Tales of a King. Welcome back to another edition. Today we're in South Central Los Angeles. We're going to speak with Lefty, owner of On Broadway Tattoo Shop. You guys stay tuned. King Life.
Now I'm getting more inks and stuff like that. So I'm doing that for like 2 years, back and forth from right after work on my uniform. I'll go tack for 6-7 hours because I didn't know how long one needles to use. So it was taking me a long time.
So would you go to your customers or how?
Yeah, I would go to their houses and I would bring my flash, and that's how I was making my little money. But I wasn't making money. I was just paying gas and buying supplies. That's all I was doing. But I never gave up. While everybody was partying and doing all this stuff, I'm just work, home, tattoos, work, home, tattoos. So that's all I'm doing.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Big Bob with Tales of a King. Welcome back to another edition. Today we're in South Central Los Angeles at On Broadway's Tattoos. Here I am with Lefty. Lefty, thank you for having us, bro. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you, homeboy, for having me here.
We're right here in the shop. We're right here in his personal studio within the shop. That's what happens when you're the CEO.
We got it right here, private studio.
But thank you, Lefty, for having us. A lot of people, we're just talking how you're starting to come up in the, not in the tattoo industry. You've been tattooing for 16 years or longer.
Yeah, longer.
You've had this shop for 16 years.
Yeah.
But your bike is very known. You're getting very known. Where you're at today, is it something you ever imagined? How you'd be living? Never
in my life. Never in my life. I am blessed. Honestly, I wouldn't believe I would have this badass bike. Us business blew up. We're doing really good, thank God. And no, I never imagined it. Not the way my life was going and where I am at now. 15, 20 years ago, I would never imagined it.
Right. No, you were in prison for 4 years?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years.
And that was from 98 to 2001?
2001. I got out in May 22nd.
And did you go right into tattooing, or did you?
So the way it went is I got locked up when I had just turned 17. I did my 3 years. And the only reason I always say this is because this was the big impact while I was in prison when I lost my brother a year later. So just imagine 18 years old in level 3 Corcoran State Prison, and young and lost, And when I lost my brother, I never thought he was gonna pass away. Honestly, I thought it wouldn't happen to us, you know. And he passed away, and I didn't see my family for 2 years. My family couldn't make it to 3-hour drive or whatever. My mom don't drive, and it was 6 kids. Well, 5. I was locked up. And I did those 3 years, and that was my biggest impact, my brother. So while I was in prison, now you see me all tatted up, so people think that all of this is him. No, when I was in prison, I did get a couple of tattoos, but I got them on my back and on my legs, and that was it. Oh, and that was it. So I didn't have visible tattoos because my mentality was, I'm getting out. Yes, I gangbang, I did a lot of stuff, but when I was in there, I was talked to. Remember, I'm on level 3. I'm with lifers. So the lifers.
At 18 years old.
18 years old.
Wow.
I was the youngest. Me and my homeboy were the youngest ones in prison.
Wow.
So you gotta see this way. There's all kinds of lifers in there, and they see a little kid in prison. So them as a big homie, which I really appreciate from them, was when you get out there, start doing good. Fuck everything else. Nobody's gonna tell you what to do. Get your life straight. You're getting the chance now. Do not mess up, because if you come back, then shit's gonna happen. But even though I try not to get in trouble, I ended up doing 9 months in the hole. There's stuff that I had to do.
Right.
But I had to do it. I had to always put my name out there. I always had to, like my homeboy always told me, when you're in here, don't rank it. And if something pops up, always stand your ground. And your name is your word. Your name is you. So if you mess up in anything, you go down.
Wow.
So if you have to get down, you get down. If you have to take care of business, you got to take care of business. No questions asked. So that's what I did. So I ended up doing 9 months in the hole, and so the homeboys told me, like, just start doing good. When you get out, right now, do what you gotta do, because you have to.
You have to, yeah.
But once you get out of here, you got a chance, and you got a choice. You want to fuck around, or you want to do good in life. So when I got out, my mentality was, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna start working. So I didn't have visible tattoos. So when I got out, and I tell everybody this, I was trying to do good, man. I swear to you, I was trying to get a job, and I couldn't get a job, dude. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to work. I was young. I was 21 now that I got out. I didn't even know how to drive.
Wow.
So I ain't like to. Sometimes I would sit on the stairs where I was staying in, and I would cry, man. And I would tell God, like, dude, help me out here. I'm trying to do good, man, but what do I do? And so I went back to what I knew how to do. I went to the hood. I went and got drugs, and I went to go slang. And on the second day, I remember I came home and I'm playing PlayStation, and my brother's coming from work or something, and he looks at me, and I didn't pay attention, but till later I caught on. I was real jumpy. So I'm playing and I'm being real jumpy, and I'm like, what's going on with me? So when my brother looks at me, he's like, hey, fool, your eyes are huge. What do you mean? He's like, yeah. So I went and I looked at the drugs because I got to carry them in my mouth.
Right.
The little plastic came off.
Oh,
so
shit.
I was taking it in without me realizing it. But I'm a high-risk parole, dude. I can't be messing around. They drug test me, I'm done. So I got angry at myself, and I grabbed the drugs and I threw them away. I flushed them down the toilet. I said, no, I can't. Like, stop it, you know? And I still did a couple of stupid stuff. I'm not perfect, dude. We're not perfect. I even now, I'm still...
It happened.
We
slip here and there.
We're not perfect, dude, you know? So... I mean, I'm still not perfect, but I do wish everybody the best. I do help everybody as much as I can. I do mean well, and but I'm still who I am. You know, I'm not a bad person, but I do bad stuff sometimes. You know, we all do. I guess we just don't show it. You know, but just talking real. You know, but so I tried doing that. So I get this job as a dishwasher. 5 a.m, go catch the bus, go to work, come back home on the bus, and like I was telling you earlier, back then. I wouldn't even, and I used to work really hard, and I wouldn't even carry $10 in my pocket to spend during the week, dude. Back then, I wasn't drinking. To me, drinking was a waste of money because I didn't have it.
Wow.
I'm paying my rent, I'm paying all this, but I always wanted the best for me. Ever since I got out, and I'll show you pictures when I was a kid. I had a little fro, I had funny-ass t-shirts because I couldn't afford nothing, you know. My mom wouldn't take me to the haircut on the weekends, every weekend like every kid did. I didn't have no Jordans. I know about Jordans. So I met Morena 10 years ago. She, the Jordans, dude, I'm white shoes, blue jeans or white jeans and white tee. That's me all day.
You are, yeah.
And I don't know about expensive stuff, you know. But I'll tell you this: if I see a nice car or a nice toy or a flying something, I'll buy that shit because I love all that stuff. You know, that's who I am. I've always been like that. So when I'm gonna tell you this, so I started building my credit. And I went to the store and I went and got the biggest TV I could get. It took me like a year and a half to pay for it. But I knew from then that I always wanted the best of the best. And now I could get it for myself. It's gonna take me some time, but I will get it. So I used to work really hard, and so 3 years passed and I'm still struggling. I'm getting just minimum wage jobs or whatever. And then one of my homeboys, he gets out. And he's trying to do good. He's going to school, and I'm giving him rides because he's struggling now. So I'm trying to help him out. So one day, hey, fool, let me tattoo you up. So I went to his house. He tatted me up. So it's all on my arm. You can't see it. So he did this tattoo on me. So I'm talking to him, and then I take my drawings that I did in prison. So he looked at me like, fool, you were good. He's like, why didn't you tat? I'm like, look, fool, my brother passed a year later. And I used to draw and everything, but I'm already doing 9 months in the hole. So he's like, I don't want to catch more time, especially for tattooing. So I'm not gonna waste my time like that. I want to go home already with my family. So he's like, I'm gonna give you a machine. Start tatting, food. There's money on that. So he made me a homemade. I called my paisita homie and like, hey, wait, come through, fool. And I tatted him on his chest. And I remember he was all bleeding and he's all ready. And he's like, fool, put some ink on there. We're all laughing. And I'm gonna tell you, till now, I still know him. I still talk to him. He doesn't want no more tattoos. And he knows I'm a good artist. You don't want to get tatted no more, you know? But it's all good, you know? Like, he got scared. He's like, fuck you. I'm not getting no more tats, you know?
You ruined his tattoo career.
He was my first one, dude. And I'm always gonna appreciate him for that. So I got that machine and I threw it away because I felt it didn't work.
Right.
So back then, there was no Facebook, Instagram, none of that stuff, Google. So I seen on a magazine, I ordered a kit. So I get that kit and I don't even know how to put everything together. I played with it and I did a little tattoo and said, fuck it, I'm ready. So I started calling up friends and started tatting people up. So for 2 years I did that, and I used to go buy my supplies in Hollywood. So every needle I would get it for like $6. The grips for $8.
Wow.
Keep in mind, I'm doing tattoos for $20, $30 max. So I'm barely making money. So any $10 I would have, I would save them. Anything I would make, or for gas. So that's what I was doing. So then I find there's a place where I could buy supplies at, and it's only like an hour away. So I go over there. The needles are at 50 cents. The grips are at 35 cents. So I'm saving myself $15, $20 now. So now I get all this. Now I'm making a little bit more money.
Right.
So now I'm buying flash, because back then that's what it was, flash. I'm buying flash. Now I'm getting more inks and stuff like that. So I'm doing that for like 2 years, back and forth, from right after work on my uniform. I'll go tack for 6-7 hours, because I didn't know how long, what needles to use. So it was taking me a long time.
So would you go to your customers, or how?
Yeah, I would go to their houses, and I would bring my flash, and that's how I was making my little money. But I wasn't making money. I was just paying gas and buying supplies. That's all I was doing. I wasn't, but I never gave up. While everybody was partying and doing all this stuff, I'm just work, home, tattoos, work, home, tattoos. So that's all I'm doing.
You said two things, you said you never gave up, and then you say what I hear a lot that people don't realize, but you just said it. You weren't partying while everyone else was partying.
Yeah.
You were out doing your thing.
Yes, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you guys, don't give up, dude, and keep on pushing, because nobody will believe in you. Nobody, and that's the truth. And I'm not telling you I'm doing great and I'm up there, and no, I'm not. But I'll tell you this: I've traveled, I've done a lot of great things, and I've gone to nice places because of what I've been doing. I would have been right now doing minimum wage job and not doing nothing for myself. I would have probably never even gone on vacation, and I have been doing that. I've been going all over the place, so yes, I've done it, and I've worked really hard. And now I have friends, my own little brothers told me, "Fool, I want what you have. You don't even do shit." No, I do a lot.
Right.
I do promote a lot, and I am out there a lot, and I already did my dirt. I already worked my butt off. I already did what I had to do. The struggle I had to do, I already did it. I'm past that already, and now it's just, you gotta keep there.
Right,
now your job is to just keep on staying busy and keeping your shop busy. That's what I'm doing now, but I don't work as hard as I used to work, that I used to be here every day. I used to practically live here. I used to be here from 11 before we used to close at 12 at night.
Wow.
I used to be here mostly every day, and Sundays I would just do a tan and take off, but I used to always be here every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, we worked really hard, but now thank God we're here,
That's awesome.
Yeah, so what happened with, so the homeboy did the machine thing, so then I find this tattoo place, right, to buy the supplies. So one day, me and my brother go, and my brother meets his coworker. So his coworker is with his artist. So I'm talking to his tattoo artist while he's talking to his coworker. So I tell him, "Oh yeah, I've been tattooing at home and this and that." And all of a sudden, I don't even know why I said it, but in my mind is I want to open up a shop. Eventually in the future I want to open up a shop. And then he's like, "Well, if you open up a shop, I'll go with you. Just give me a little bit more percentage and I'll guide you." So when he said that, I said, "Okay." So we exchanged numbers. I just thought about it in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna pull the trigger. So remember, I'm barely making money, but now I have good credit. So what did I do? I go and get a loan. So I get a $7,000 loan. So I call the guy up. I'm ready for what? He's like, "I'm gonna open up a shop." We just talked maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh shit, this guy's for real." Yeah, and I seen the spot. It was inside the swap meet. I called him up. We went to go see it. Like, this is perfect. So he told me what to buy, whatever. I went and got the permits, and boom, we made it. So I opened up that shop for let's say 3-4 years. I was there, and it was really slow, and the people there didn't like me that much at the swap meet.
The other little shop.
Yeah, so they thinking I'm gonna be a fuck up or whatever. But me, I've always been like, "How you doing? Good morning, good afternoon. Do you need help with anything?" I've always been like that since I was a kid. So they like me now. They, "Hey, what's up?" So everybody was cool. So I started promoting. I started seeing we were getting busy. So remember, I'm working. At this time, I'm working as a driver, and I'm going in at 4 a.m, getting off at 11:30. I go open up the shop, close the shop at 8, go home, eat, go to sleep, get up at 4 a.m.
Oh, so you had your regular job plus the shop in the store. Oh,
yes.
Wow. Okay.
So that I did it for like 3 years. So I did that for 3 years, and then just to make the story short, I get fired. So just to be on the clear, I'm gonna just say this. The guys in Universal, it was Universal, so they started changing the way they were doing things. So now they wanted me to do more work. I don't have the time, dude. I'm not gonna do your guys' job. I'm just supposed to drop off and take.
Right.
No, they wanted me to separate and I'm not gonna do that. I got enough stuff I gotta do. I got a time limit. So for a week, I'm just doing my job, and this guy's just mad because I'm not doing what he told me. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna do your job. So a week passes, and then this guy, I'm unloading. He's like, hey, Rio, can I get you? Can you call your manager? Yeah, sure. So I get my radio and I call him. So he's like, can I talk to him? Yeah, sure. So he talks to him. He's like, yes, he's not doing his job.
On the radio in front of you?
In front of me. So I looked at. So now we're upstairs where all the clothes is at and all the workers are there. Keep in mind, I'm always really respectful with everybody. I was mad, dude. So I grabbed the radio and I'm like, you're a fucking bitch. He looked at me and he's like, what? I'm like, you're a fucking bitch, fool. Everybody turned and I was mad. Yeah. So I'm like, I worked really hard, dude, for you to say that, you know? Right. And I'm like, let's go downstairs because there's cameras everywhere. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go downstairs and talk like real men. So downstairs there's no cameras. That's where they throw the clothes and I pick up the dirty laundry. And he just looked at me and he walked away. I'm like, let's go downstairs, fool. I need to talk to you, homeboy. And he just walked out. And then I did my job. So this happened on Friday. On Monday I go and the security, because he has to go downstairs and open the door for me. He didn't go downstairs. He called the security guard. Yeah. And the security guard looks at me. He's like, hey, fool, what's up? Because I get along with everybody. Right. What you do to this fool? I'm like, nothing. Why? He's like, fool, that fool don't want to come down. I'm like, fool, I ain't do nothing to this guy. Just let's go talk downstairs like man. He's like, fool. So he opens the door. I seen him upstairs. He didn't even look at me. I'm just doing my job. I go drop off somewhere else. When I'm coming back, the manager called me. He's like, hey, fool, what did you do? I'm like, nothing. Why? He's like, fool, all the managers from over there, fool, they're having a meeting with this fool. You're in trouble, dude. I'm like, man. So they put me on leave. They told me I couldn't come back for like a week because they were doing an investigation and I get fired. Wow. So I get fired for that, whatever. So now I'm like, I started adding everything up. So I'm making more money in the shop than I was making at the job.
And you didn't realize that before?
I never realized because I have a pattern. I get up at 4, go to work, and now this is my life.
You just did your thing, not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck them. I'm gonna start doing this. So I'm like, I'm just gonna dedicate myself to work, and I did.
Wow.
So I'm doing this, and then I don't know. It didn't happen too long. Maybe a month, 2 months. I'm not sure. I always say a couple of weeks. I'm not sure. And then an incident happens, and it's gang related. I wasn't active at the time, but I was out of bounds. There was a lot of different neighborhoods that we didn't get along or whatever. And some of them knew who I was, but I was just about my business. I was always working, whatever. And so the reason I was there, because they given me a pass. They knew who I was, but they gave me a pass because I told them, Puppet is my hood name. Lefty is my shop name. So when I opened up the business, I had to find a name that would fit my artist's work. So I'm Lefty. I type with my hand. Okay. So now everybody knows me as Lefty. Right. So I'm like, if I put Puppet sounds too active. Right. So I changed it. So I had an incident with some guys right there, and I told them what happened. I'm like, look, I'm not even disrespecting. I'm not showing the hood, nothing. I know where I'm at, homeboy. I'm just here to make money. If you come, I'll hook you up. You know, I'll give you a little discount. Right. You know. So they gave me a pass, but sadly, some incident happened with their neighborhoods and mine or whatever, and I had to get out of there. They were looking for me. I had to get out of there, and I did. I didn't want no problems because my mentality was I need to get another business, another shop. So that's how I ended up here. So when I started here, so I lost the shop, I lost everything. Now I'm stressed out because I don't have nowhere to work at now.
Did you lose everything inside of it as well, or were you able to?
I still say the guys were still there because they weren't looking for nobody in specific. They were just looking for me because they knew I was from there and nobody else was there from the hood. So they gave the shop was still open, everything was good, and so the shop was still running. So I just didn't know what I was gonna do now with me, you know, because I know I can't stay in home all day. So one of my customers, he had a party supplies right here. He's like, hey, Lefty, I want to get tatted. And I told him what happened. He's like, fool, I have space in the back. So I go to the back, and he has a whole bunch of jumpers. It's all dusty and dirty. He's like, you could tat right here. I'm like, no, dude, I have to make a room sterile, nice, you know. He's like, well, how much can you give me? So I gave him a number. He's like, all right, it works. So he gave me the whole backside.
Wow.
So I made a nice clean room. I even had a waiting area with the carpet, couch, and nice.
Yeah.
So I invested some money there, and well, now I'm sending my customers. We're not that far, maybe like 10 minutes away.
Okay.
So we're bringing my customers here. So I was telling my customers here. So the first 3-4 months we're doing good, and then the next month this guy's like, hey, fool, I can't make the rent. I'm struggling. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? You know, like I'll help you with half, but give me half of the business. So I'm already thinking I'll start selling shirts or something.
Yeah.
And like, I can't do that. Well, I can't give you half of the rent if you can't give me half of the space. So then the next month, and the same thing. So then on the third month, this guy's like, hey, I can't pay the rent no more. We're gonna shut down. Like, dude, I just invested all this money.
3 months into it.
Yeah,
Oh,
3-4
wow.
months into it, and we're already in there. I'm like, dude, I can't. What are you telling me? So I said, fine. I seen the owner, and the owner knew who I was. And every time, like I said, I'm really respectful with everyone, you know. So when I would see the jefe, he's a paisa, you know. So buenas tardes, jefe. If I see he needs help with anything, le puedo ayudar, you know. I've always been like that. So then I'm like, jefe, this is what's going on. He can't pay the rent, and I want to take over. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, handle. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, I grabbed all his stuff and I put it right here in the corner, and I started fixing everything. To make the story short, it took me 2 weeks around there. I invested $18,000 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
All my savings, remember I have good credit cards. I have
right.
like 6-7 credit cards. I maxed them all out. I didn't have no money, nothing. And the first person I thought about, my mom. Well,
Always.
Jefa, you know what? I don't have no money. I invested my money. No, mijo, don't do that. And this, Mom, I don't want to hear nothing. Mom, can you lend me money? How much do you need? How much do you have? She's like, I have 2,000. Let me get, bro. They're yours. As soon as she gave me that money, it was gone. So then I went to the mall and I was buying something. The guys called me because it was pretty much already done. It's 2 weeks in. And they're like, hey, fool, you got to start doing the front. Because people are passing by. What is this? Because we're remodeling the front, the back. And everybody just seeing commotion, the neighbors. What's gonna happen here? What is it? Oh, it's gonna be a tattoo shop. Oh, we want to get okay, come on down as soon as we're done. So then it's almost ready. And the guy said, hey, fool, you gotta do the first tattoo at the shop. I'm like, fool, start working, motherfucker. We didn't start putting in money.
Just start tattooing. Don't worry about me.
So what I did, I brought some of the guys from the other shop over here.
Okay.
So we started working, man. And at the time, it was really slow. Like 2015, that's when I started seeing. When I bought that bike in 2015, that's when everything started changing.
Wow.
So for those 10 years, I worked hard, you know, and I struggled and trying to make that money to pay the rent and the bills. But 5 years ago, I started seeing a little bit more income, and then all of a sudden, I started seeing like, man, dude, what's going on? I don't know what happened, honestly.
Right.
And we've been busy, thank God. I mean, there's no slow days like everything else, but we're doing good, and I'm blessed to now be here where I'm at now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are your goals for the future, or do you have plans to get a bigger shop? Are you planning to stay here?
So I had 3. So I didn't. So I had that. So I had that shop, and I had another shop. So like I said, I was doing a lot of stupid things, and I went to jail again. A couple times more. But this one time I did 3 months and I lost 2 of the shops. And I almost lost this one.
Oh, wow.
So that was the big hit for me. And I realized that when I had those 3 shops, I was stressing out a lot because it's only one of me. And I had to run 3 shops.
Right.
So when I lost those 2 shops, I came out and I just started focusing on this shop. And now that I feel my shop is nice and stable, and I think it's running good.
Right.
I'm ready to. Everybody's listening to hearing this for the first time. We're gonna open another shop this year.
Wow. Congratulations,
I hope to God, man.
Congratulations.
And so my goal is to open up this next one. And my right hand man, besides my girl Morena, that she's the one that I gotta give her props for always, you know, stressing me out and helping me out, because what I don't see, she sees, and that's the truth. So besides my Grinch, I call her my Mexican Grinch. Besides her, my brother Tony, he's gonna be my right side, my right hand man for the other shop. We're gonna open it together.
That's awesome.
So that's the next goal, to open. And the other one, I'm hoping it'll be more higher end, more a little bit more nicer,
right.
fancier, whatever, however you want to say. I mean, my shop is nice, but the other one, I'm thinking go a different route. On this shop, you will find monsters and all kinds of weird stuff for the customers to trip out on. But on the other shop, you're gonna find I'm hoping we'll make it a little bit more fancier.
Get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, best of both worlds. Yeah, so that's my. I hope to God that everything works out for us for that.
Well, we're excited, man. We'll have to go check out the second shop as well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that's my goal for this year.
And go shop.
So you guys, Lefty, man, they're gonna open up a new shop, and we'll let you guys know where it's gonna be and when they open up. So Lefty, you have a 2005 Road King.
15, yeah.
And that was your first bike?
That was my first bike.
And when you bought it, you did not know how to ride?
I didn't know how to ride. I didn't know nothing about Harleys, sports bikes, anything. I didn't know nothing. I was freshly new at everything. So I'll tell you how everything started with that one.
Okay, what made you get a bike, a motorcycle?
Well, that's what happened.
Oh, okay.
So Bernie, my brother, he got a sports bike.
Okay.
So he's like, oh, I got a bike. I'm started riding. You should get one. I'm like everybody, they're dangerous. Be careful. Take care of yourself, because they are dangerous. So that was it. And then he kept on riding. I started seeing videos of this fool, and he's like, oh, I love it and all this. I'm like, man. He's like, get one. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna get a bike. I don't even know how to ride.
Yeah.
So then, I'm in the night. I'm just thinking. I'm like, man, what about if I would get a Harley? And remember, I don't know nothing about bikes, but when you think motorcycle, you think Harley Davidson right off the bat.
For some reason, that's the first.
That's and I don't know nothing about bikes. So I'm like, why can't I get a bike? Man, I'm gonna look into it. So then I called my brother. I'm like, how do I do it? He's like, well, you gotta go take the class, because he didn't know how to ride either. He's like, you gotta take the class and you'll learn in those 3 days. I'm like, you're kidding? He's like, yeah, in 3 days you'll learn. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go. He's like, but you have to go get your license too. I'm like, fuck. Well, yeah, I want to do everything legit. So yeah, I'll go take the class. So that's how I started. He's the one that sparked that light, and how I ended up getting into the bikes.
Nice. Now, did it take a little bit to catch on? So the class only teaches you, but you have to actually put it to work. You know what I mean?
So let me tell you, I'm a really, 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 really slow learner.
Okay.
So when I went to take the class, I felt I did get on the bike. That first day we were already doing circuits, and I'm like, what the hell? And I was surprised, So I did the whole thing. Morena was mad. She didn't want me to get a bike from the beginning. She was mad. She said, don't get a bike. They're dangerous and this and that. But I'm like, I want to, And I always done. If I get a crazy idea, I have to do it because I go crazy. So I did the class. I felt. And then I told Morena, let's take the bike out. So I took the bike out. He's like, you look tense. I'm like, I am tense. I don't know what I'm doing.
I am tense.
So I did a whole circle, whatever. And they're like, we're going to call you in a month. See if you come back. So they called me that week. They're like, we have another spot available. They're like, you could come and just do the test. I'm like, no, I want to start from the beginning again. So this time I'm going more confident, because now I know what to do.
Right.
So I did those 3 days and I passed it this time. And this time I'm good. And the first day I took it out, I came to the shop. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was in the middle of the street and I'm coming and I forgot what I was supposed to do. So I was just riding, I'm like, what am I supposed to do next? And then it's happening for real. Then I grabbed it and I remember, all right. So I went and I got to the shop and I dropped that bike 6 times.
Wow.
6 times, bro. And I didn't know nobody. I didn't know a bike scene. I didn't know nobody. I was lost for like 5-6 months, just riding home or just taking little cruises here and there. And Morena will go behind me and Morena, I want to ride with you. I'm like, okay. So like a month or two later that I was already riding, she gets on the bike. And man, I was doing long turns and we'll stop and we'll go to the front. Morena almost jumping off and she don't care. We did the whole thing around and we came back home. I'm like, Morena, you can't get in the bike. No, like I feel it's dangerous. I can't do it with you, mija, But I loved it. I loved the adrenaline. It's something that's for you. You know, even if Morena's behind me, you're by yourself. You're riding and your mind is just somewhere else, dude. It's an experience. And I always tell everybody, they're like, and when they don't have a bike, I tell them, you want to feel freedom, you want to feel something for yourself, that's it. That's it. You ride, and even if you're stressed out or whatever, just go on a run, just ride, and you're gonna come home like if you just finished working out. Same feeling, because when I finish working out, I feel like free. You know what I mean? Like yeah, because I'll work out something and I'll stop, and then I'll go jump on it again. I'll be like, man, why do I keep on stopping? Like, it feels so good. Like you feel like you could take the world, you know? And yeah, I love it. As soon as I took it and I started doing my little circles, going around places, and I love it, man. It's for you. It's for you. That's
and I've said it many times, if you never rode, you don't know that feeling. You don't know that. You can put in your mind. You can be anywhere at that moment, literally.
And you know what? And even sometimes I get off the bike, my hands, I'm shaky. Like, it's just like you just went on a mission. That's how I feel, dude. I feel like I just went on a mission, dude. And it's an experience that nothing can give you that but that bike. That bike. And that's just my bike. Because I rode a couple of bikes. My homeboy went down one time and I had to take his bike home. It was still rideable and I took it home. And that's not you. Like, my bike is mine. It's a personal thing between you and her.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, I love it, man.
Now, what was some of the first upgrades? Because once again, you guys will get some B-roll of his bike. But what was some of the first upgrades you did? Because you didn't do it all at once, right?
No. So this is what happened. So I don't remember how I met them. The first ones I went to, I forgot the name of the shop, man. Los Angeles Harley or something. They're in Montebello, I know for sure. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the shop. It's been 5, 6, 7 years ago. But they were the first ones I went to, and they treated me really good, and they gave me, this is what you can do to the bike. So right away, so the first thing I did on it was the bars.
Okay.
So I met this guy that he rode. So I would bring my bike to the shop. Oh, that's your bike? Yeah, it's nice. Oh, it's stock. Yeah. Like, oh, I know somebody that does bars. So he introduced me to the guy that did bars, and that's how I got my bars first. And then a couple months later, one of my customers that I've known for like 10, 11 years at the time, he's like, his son came, and they're like, hey, my dad rides. So I guess he told his dad, and his dad reached out to me. He came on his bike. So he's showing me he has air ride on it. He has those bars. And I'm like, what? I want that.
Yeah.
So then he's like, oh, well, start riding with us. So I got into it with them. And I don't know who introduced me to the shop, and I went there, and that's when I did my system, my 21 front tire, my extended bags, and that was the first thing that I did as an upgrade.
But it's still black. The bike
is
still black.
Black. Okay, it's still black. So I was riding with these guys for let's say like a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
So what I used to always kick me in the ass was I would always ride with these guys. And keep in mind, I already invested like $9,000 on this bike, you know, and we're riding and everything. And what I used to hate was they'll look at my bike, oh, your bike's still stock. I'm like, oh, dude, like, I'm like, fool, I got the bars, I got the tire, I got the extended bags, I got the whole shebang, you know, like, dude, my shit is tight.
I got $9,000 in that.
Yeah, like, stock. Dude, you know, and they're like, no, it blends in right with the other one. So then I said, I gotta change the game, dude. So that's when I decided to do some of the engraving in the paint job.
Right.
And so what happened was at this year, my business did a little bit better than other years. So I had some cash in my hands. So me as a business owner, instead of investing in something like something every year I invest in my shop. So this year I didn't invest in my shop. I grabbed the money, I invested on the bike. So I put all that money in the bike. So I did the engraving, the paint job, and my thing was I gotta turn heads. I gotta show people, this is me. What's up? This is on Broadway.
You gotta set yourself apart from everyone else.
Yes, this is on Broadway Tattoos. This is me, you know. So that's why I did what I did. Because I wanted people to see who I was as, who's that guy?
Right.
And then, I'm Lefty. I do tattoos. I'm a Broadway Tattoos, and to promote my business. Now I'm thinking, I gotta find a way to turn heads so I could bring clientele to my business. I mean, my business gave me my bike.
Right.
Why can't I give back to my business?
Right.
You know, I have a truck. My truck has some Broadway Tattoos on it too. The only reason the car doesn't, because Morena tells me not to. We have to have a private car.
Right.
You know, but me, I have my truck everywhere. Everybody always waves and hugs. Lefty, what's up? We know you're here. You know. Yeah. So the bike, that's why I did everything I did on it. And some people be like, "Hey, you ride that thing?" Yes, that's my bike. That's the only one I have.
And that's, you know what, I think SoCal is known for that. A lot of people always ask, "You ride that thing?" Hell yeah.
Yeah, we all ride it. Yeah,
that's
you
what we
have
do.
to. I'm like, people, you should have had a story. I'm like, no, that's my bike. I have to ride it. It has insurance. I dropped. I'm not gonna get everything I paid for it, but I'm gonna get some of it. So one day I almost dropped it and I chipped the bag. And then my homeboy Cisco was like, fuck, I'm like, I have to return. Fool, leave that shit like that. Those are stripes. That means you write that motherfucker. So ever since then, when they say something, hey, scratch it, homeboy, those are stripes. I write that shit.
I earned it.
I earned it. So now it has chips. It has little dents here and there, but because I write it.
Right.
So I'm not gonna be fixing every time I break something. So no, I write that thing. That's why it's like that, you know. So yeah, but I ride my baby. That's my baby right there.
Now, so that thing, if you guys don't know, if you follow Lefty, that's a huge marketing tool for the shop.
It is.
Because people might know the bike before they even know who you are. And then it just
it blows up. Yeah.
So we'll get some cool shots, man. You got engraving, you got paint. What else? You got sound system. You have the air.
Yeah, the air ride front and back. I have the 23-inch. I did a bigger wheel on it, a 23-inch. What else? The engraving, the airbrush. The airbrush has the on Broadway tattoo logos. The logo, it has on Broadway tattoos with the Harley emblem.
So you done with it?
Man, you're never done with it. So what I was supposed to do, I was supposed to engrave the wheels.
Okay. Wow.
And what happened was when my home, and big shout out to Hawks Customs. That's my boy Johnny. He gave me the wheels without. You're supposed to have them not all put together because he has the spokes.
Right.
So I was supposed to do the engraving and I didn't. So I just painted the rims like the color of the bike. So right now I bought 2 lowriders, so now I'm fixing those, and those are taking all my money. But that's another way I'm thinking of promoting. But once I'm done with that, maybe in a year or 2, I'm gonna engrave, because I have to engrave those rims in order to make it nice.
Because that was part of the original
plan,
was
the idea, and I have to finish it. But I'm not done with it. You're never gonna be done with it. There's always gonna be something that you're gonna see on another bike that you're gonna be, I want that to be on this bike, you know, and not because you copy, it's just you respect that. You love that. Now you want to be part of it, you know, because you're gonna be original. Because remember when Cisco's bike been like that for a minute. My bike was already like a year before that. It was already painted and engraved. But remember, I was in a family club. We had started a family club, and we weren't about shows and stuff. We were more about picnics and showing going functions, stuff like that, but not promoting or going to car shows. So once I started doing all that, then I got recognized. But my bike was already like that before that. But there wasn't that many bikes like that back then. So when we started coming out, everybody was like, "What's that?" Like
it's still set apart from you know, most places. I mean, shows I've been to, it still doesn't look like anyone else.
Yeah, it's even now. Some people be like, "Man, wow, I've never seen something like that." And you love that. You take pride in that because, like I was telling you earlier, people don't see the stress behind it. You know. Me and Morena, man, she almost cut my head a lot of times because either I took all my money and spent it. You ain't gonna buy me nothing? like, you know, no, it's good for the bike.
I bought you a new seat. What are you talking about?
yeah, you know, like, so one time I had an accident. And I crashed my car, and they gave me $6,000 or something like that. So I grabbed the money and I took it and put it on the bike. So Morena seen when I grabbed the check and I handed it over. She looked, "I think you're gonna buy me a purse or something." "No, dude, it's for the bike. I had the accident, not you." And stuff like that, you know. So yeah, you go through it a lot of stuff to make that happen. You know, even just to going to the shows. Sometimes Morena has to drive with me because she has to do the setup, and sometimes we're lost. You know, I'm always watching her. She's always watching me. She's behind me. You know, stuff like that. People don't see all the struggle we have to go through just to make that happen, you know. That's when they say, "That's your bike," I'm like, yeah, that's my headache. That's my headache, because I've gone through that bike through hell and back, and we're still there, and the bike's still shining, and she's still beautiful, man.
Hey, but when you see it at the shows after you're done, you're like,
man, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it, dude. Like, when we stand there, people just want to shake your hand, be like, "You have a really nice bike," you know, and that makes us proud, dude. You know, it went a lot to have it the way it is now.
Oh yeah. Lefty, the bike looks good, man. You said Edgar painted it from.
Maxima Imagen
Okay.
on Instagram, and also want to give a big shout out to Johnny. He's never let me down. When my bike breaks down, he's the one that helps me fix it and everything. Johnny is Lifestyle Hog Customs. Big shout out to him and Edgar.
And they're local right here in LA, California?
Yes, yeah, they're local. We'll have the information pinned below. That
Okay.
way-
You guys can DM Lefty if you guys need any other information about his bike, and I'm sure he'll be glad to share it. You guys never give up, like Lefty said, and always push for your dreams.
That's
Lefty, we
right.
appreciate
Work
it, bro.
hard. All right,
Thank you,
brother.
bro. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys for everything. Appreciate it.
We hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Tales of a King. We'll see you guys soon. King Life.